Have you ever condemned that? No.
How would you react to having the CIA in your churches the way they've been observing all the mosques?
They've been there. Yeah, I would probably welcome it or not welcome it. The problem is, according to the latest investigation, 80% of all mosques are run by radical imams, and that is actually the reason why we have to monitor the mosque, we have to look at the mosque, we have to check out the mosque. You can't say that same thing about Baptists or Methodists or Christians. I think it's dangerous if it's really Islamophobia. We're not trying to do that. We're not trying to raise an awareness of that radical element. At the same time, we're saying very, very clear, this man is welcome in America. Islam is protected under the First Amendment. We're making that very clear. We don't hate Muslims. We're not against them. We are against the radical element of Islam, and we are against Sharia. We try to make that very, very clear. Actually, the problem is not us. The problem, quite honestly, is the news people. They do not present that particular case.
I tell you, we cannot do that.
No.
We are doing whatever we can. But you are our hero, at least. You are the great man. I don't know why people don't understand that. You understand what Islam is. You know the real thing what it is. How happy? You know, according to figures, Islamic people have 58 million, 120 million African people, 60 million Christian people, 10 million Buddhist people. I tell you, once they grow here 10%, 25%, they will start slaughtering. Nobody is talking against Islam because they are afraid. Not that they are politically correct. Now they are not politically correct, they are afraid because they have paralyzed everybody. Everybody is afraid of them. You better go and stop. And you are the only brave guy, I tell you, I tell you. You are very thankful.
Thank you.
You're a pastor. Are you a pastor?
Yeah, right.
You heard about it. It's 2009.
Right.
What happened?
To 2010, actually.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, we burned the Quran then on March 20th. We put the Quran on trial. It was done in Arabic and in English. We had a prosecuting attorney, a defense attorney, a jury, a judge. The Quran was found guilty of charges against humanity, and at that time we burned it. It's on YouTube, it's on the internet, you can see it there. Yeah. What would I say? What?
Disagree with like most Muslims don't want Australia or in the US. Most Muslims are peaceful and just generally American. What do you say to that?
I would say that is fine, and I would say let us band together and let's institute a banning of Sharia law nationwide. I think that would soothe a lot of people's mind. I think that would ease a lot of fear. I think there's a lot of fear concerning that particular thing. Well, the burning of the Quran was not supposed to be an act of love. It was supposed to be a demonstration against the radical element of Islam. We tried to explain that many times, that we respect. Yeah, but there could be many more than what we think. You have to remember there's 1.5 billion Muslims. 10% of them are radical. Yeah. But the view could be as many as 150 million. 150 million is a lot of people. No, but 150 million people are radical. They desire the destruction of America, the destruction of democracy, the destruction of freedom. Well, what you need to do, if you save your money, take a trip over to Egypt, to an Islamic-dominated country, stand up, speak your mind, and do something, and you will see that Islam there is completely different than Islam here. Yeah, sure. All right.
As I was saying, to meet here today,
yeah, for us it has about a threefold reason. Number one, of course, we're here to honor those who were murdered at that time. Number two, we want to honor the actual heroes of that time. We feel that they have fallen a little bit short. As you may be aware, the mayor here of New York, they excluded them from the actual 9/11 ceremony. That was heroes. And then number three, we want to continue to raise awareness of the radical element of Islam. And we tried to indicate many times and express we have no problem with Muslims here in America. We have the First Amendment. They can practice their religion. They can build mosques. They can evangelize. Our goal is twofold. Number one, against jihad or against the radical element of Islam. And number two, against Sharia. Muslims who are here in America, we expect them to honor, obey, and submit to the Constitution of the United States and not try to change that.
Center here, 2 blocks away from the World Trade Center. Can you tell us why, and would you be okay with it relocating?
Yeah, I would definitely be okay with the relocating. I realize they have a constitutional right to build it. Just like we had a constitutional right to burn the Quran or not, they actually have a constitutional right to be there. We just feel that it's very unwise. We feel it would create better harmony if they would just simply listen to the American people, the voice of the American people, to their desires, and simply move the mosque to a different location. If they were willing to do that, we would have to have absolutely no problem with that.
What has been the response since the how have you felt?
Our response personally?
No. What has been the response
concerning accurate regard to the Quran? Yeah, of course, very, very mixed. Many people were, of course, against that. But of course, many people understood and tried to understand the reason that we did it. At the very first, it was a protest against the radical element of Islam, and then later came into conjunction with the Ground Zero Mosque, a protest against that. We called off the 9/11 International Burn the Quran Day, and we established an International Judge the Quran Day, which the Quran was put on trial. We had a prosecuting attorney, a defense attorney, a judge, a jury. The Quran was judged. It was done in Arabic and in English. The Quran was found guilty of crimes against humanity, against women, against minorities, and then at that time, as a punishment, the Quran was burned. Of course, there was a great uproar around the world, especially a Muslim community. But also here in America, the people who tried to understand the reason that we did that, we did find quite a bit of support for that. All right, thank you. Thank you. All right. Okay, sure. It's a long ways from Florida, yes. We are here, I said, number one, just simply the 10th anniversary. To honor the victims, to honor the people who were killed, murdered at that time. We are here to honor, of course, the criminals of that day, as I said, the people who were murdered. I would classify them more as victims of Islam or victims of radical terrorism. The people who went in volunteering, the people who had died, they were the heroes. And then, of course, in want to continue to raise an awareness of the radical element of Islam. We're trying to send a very clear, bold message to Muslims. We're hoping that they would maybe even join with us on a couple of issues. I'd say the issue of jihad, the issue of Sharia. We're trying to send them a message that they are indeed welcome and protected under the Constitution, under the First Amendment, but we do not want our Constitution changed or altered in any way. They must be willing to honor and obey and submit to the Constitution of America. We would actually hope that perhaps some Muslims would join with us in our effort against jihad, in our effort against the radical element, and in our effort against Sharia. Yeah, actually we were to do a rally demonstration in front of the mosque. We've done that before, but we were not able to get there. We are definitely opposed to that, not based upon their constitutional rights, but just based upon the fact that we think that it's a very unwise thing, that it would be better for the American people, and it would be better for Islam if they just simply decided to move the mosque to a different location. We believe that it would demonstrate their willingness to show that they understand what happened, they're sorry for what happened, even though they personally didn't do it. Still, they would be showing some sympathy for the people who died at that time.
Tell us about your day here in New York. What did you do throughout
yesterday we had a rally in front of Times Square. We started at 4 o'clock, ran about 2 hours. And then today we had a rally a few blocks from here where we spoke. And then right before this actually started, here just right up the road, we also had a short presentation.
Now, who organized this rally? Can you tell me a little bit about this rally? What's going on here?
Right, as far as I know, this rally was organized by Pamela Geller. I believe, right, I think that Robert Spencer has that. I'm not sure of what she had. Hers is Atlas Shrugs.
Oh, that's right.
And I believe they're the ones basically that organized it, or she did, I believe.
And what's your reaction to your activity? What's been the reaction to your activities? Have people been coming up to you and saying, we're glad you're here? Have people been saying, no, I'm not glad you're here?
Yeah, we've definitely had both. Here, of course, we have had basically only positive response. But when we did the rallies out on the street and out on the street corner, we had definitely mixed reaction. We had people calling us names who were definitely against us. We had other people who were favorable, people who wanted to, whatever, talk to us, take their picture with us, thanked us for what we were doing. But definitely out there, the response was mixed. Or here, the response was basically 100% positive.
And how many folks did you come up with?
Just Wayne and myself. All right. All right, good. Thank you.
Actually, one more question. You know, you got so much kids the Quran version. The first and the child.
Right.
So that was just about a year ago. Right. So what is the next controversy?
Well, we've actually done a lot of things. I guess it hasn't gotten to nationwide. We did several things in Dearborn, Michigan. I'm sure you must have heard about that. We just got back from Lansing, Michigan, where we did a rally there in front of the Capitol building. We spoke there out on, they have a anti-Sharia bill, I believe, there, 4769, something like that. We spoke out on that. We spoke out on the moral, economical, and spiritual decay of America. We did 2 rallies in front of the Egyptian Council in Los Angeles. We are going to Kansas City to do a rally, and I think after that we are going to be in Missouri. So we've actually been pretty busy. Yes.
What's the message that you want to send to Muslims on this day?
Yeah, basically our general message is that one of welcome and warning. In other words, if they're here in America, they're here legally.